Welcome back. If you have been following this web development series, where we have already covered the basics of the frontend and then moved deeper to explore middleware, the security, parsing, and logging layers that handles requests before they reach your backend logic. If you missed those, please check them out first. Link are in the description. Now, we are diving one layer deeper, the core business logic. This is where real decisions happen, where your app talks to databases, internal services, and the external APIs to actually get things done. We will break it down all with clear visuals and real world examples. Let's get into it. Also, in this video, we will be giving 5 quiz questions that cover everything we have talked about so far in this series: front end, middleware, and now the back end. Think you remember it all? Drop your answers in the comments. And the best, most thoughtful one will win a 500 gift card. Let's see who is really paying attention. Business logic is the heart of your backend. It's where your application enforces real world rules and workflows. When a request passes through middleware, it finally reaches this layer. This is where you ask questions like: is the user allowed to do this? Is the item in stock? Should a discount apply? What do we tell the database or payment system to do? Your business logic decides how to read and write to databases, call other services, and trigger external APIs. Placing an order, the logic checks the stock, charges the card, saves the order, and sends notification in that order. Before moving forward, here is the first question for you all. Drop the answers in the comment, and the first person to answer correctly will receive an Amazon gift card worth 500 rupees. In a typical backend architecture, your business logic lives in the service layer. Controllers handles incoming request and pass it. Services, where your logic runs, orchestrating decisions. Repositories talk to the databases. Think of the service layer as the director calling the shots. Fetch this, update that, notify them, etc. Quiz time. Here is the second question for you all. You need to check out our previous videos of this series. Let's start with databases. Whether you use SQL, NoSQL, or a graph DB, business logic relies on data. Typical DB interactions in your logic includes validating user info, fetching product availability, creating or updating orders, performing transactions, applying complex queries. The logic layer decides when and how to interact with the DB, not just fetching raw data, but applying rules around it. Let's say user applies a coupon. Your business logic checks: is the coupon valid? Has the user already used it? Does it meet the minimum card value? Then it applies a discount and updates the DB. In a microservices or modular backend, your logic doesn't just hit the database. It calls other services too. Here are the few common patterns. Order services to inventory service to lock the stock. Order services to payment service to process payment. Auth service to user service to validate permissions. Notification service to email or SMS users. This is where service orchestration and fault tolerance kick in. Quiz time. Here is the third question for you all. Drop the answers in the comments. You are also talking to third-party APIs from your logic for payments, communication, storage, and analytics. Example integrations: Stripe for billing, Twilio for sending SMS, AWS S3 for file uploads, SendGrid for transactional emails. You need timeouts, retry logic, logging, and graceful degradation when API fail. Quiz time. Here is the fourth question for you all. Let's break it down what actually happens in real business flow for placing an order. Request hits the API, middleware authenticates the user, controller hands it to order service, business logic fetches the cart, checks the inventory via internal service, applies any discounts, charges card via Stripe, saves order in DB, sends email confirmation via SendGrid. Finally, returns success or error response. Each step might involve retries, validations, logs, and error handling. To keep your business logic clean, modular, and safe, keep logic in the service layer, not in controllers or routes. Handle errors properly. Don't let one failure cascade. Don't mix DB and API calls randomly. Sequence them with care. Write reusable validators for input and business rules. Add observability with logs, metrics, and tracing. The goal? Logic should reflect real world behavior, not just code structure. Quiz time. Here is the last question for you all. Next time you build an API, remember middleware gets the request in safely, but business logic is what gets work done. If you missed the previous episode on middleware, go watch that now. It sets up everything we talked about here. And if this helped, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and let me know what part of backend you want us to explore next.